What's up, everybody? Welcome back and happy Friday. I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers, bringing you your daily hail forecast. Sponsored as always by C3 Group, Rental Non-Group, American Contractor, and Atlas. They're still there for you in the description to this video, so go ahead and check them out. Today, that severe weather threat has arrived, and just in time for the weekend. It's now moving into the Mississippi Valley and then the southeast for tomorrow. So we got all risks on the table. And then after we talk about the next 48, 72 hours all the way through Sunday, we're getting into next week's outlook as well. What do your temperature chances look like? What do your precip chances look like across the nation? Going over that whole pattern. And then, of course, continuing our countdown of 2023's costliest storm systems. Today, continuing with number 6, and then we'll be back with the last 5 starting next Monday. So before we get into our weather, we are at the Roofing Process Conference, guys. This is going to be next week, December 12th through the 13th, at the Rosen Center booth in Orlando, Florida. So get out to booth 26, say hey to Frank, give him a hard time, as I always say, and yeah, come out and see us. It'll be great. Now getting into today. All right, here's the Mississippi Valley. Got a little scattering of some rain showers, but generally quiet right now as that cold front gets ready to push through. Up through the Rocky Mountains, I do want to give you guys a blurb if you're in Denver watching, or any of our friends out in the Rockies. There is some snow starting up that way if you're on the back end of that system. There's that low pressure zone, all right, that kind of circle up there. And basically they rotate kind of in that direction, right? So they're pulling all this air out of the north, dropping it into the Rockies, producing some snow through there. Denver's at 38 degrees now, but if you're at higher elevations, could be seeing some snow and getting ready to push into the I-25 corridor later. Then down out ahead of that low pressure system, this is going to be our severe storm zone, sitting nice and warm at 73 degrees in Dallas, 65 in Oklahoma City. We're going to see those temperatures drop into tomorrow with that cold front, and with that instability, we could see some storms pushing through here soon. I'm going to give you a quick, again, blurb about the snow. If you're out through the Rockies, got a good chance of seeing at least 6 inches of snow, particularly through those higher elevations in Idaho, Montana, Yellowstone area in Wyoming, and then there you go for Colorado, the area right between Denver and Colorado Springs along I-25. Got a good chance to see 6 inches of snow, plus some blowing snow with higher sustained winds. So just going to make travel kind of difficult if you're out through I-25 into the next 72 hours with that snowfall. Now for our severe weather. Today looks for severe weather, we tend to like these upper 50s, 60-degree dew points for severe weather to form, and up through our storm zone here, where we've got that low pressure dry line interaction, those dew points aren't looking super great. 50 degrees in Oklahoma City, 53 in Joplin, waiting for them to pick up here in central Arkansas. So today is really going to depend on how much that instability can stream northward. Into tomorrow, looking a little better, but today is going to be more conditional. And you can see that here kind of on our forecast instability, right? Everything's kind of pulling up into the Mississippi Valley by around 8 p.m. by the time storms form. But the pockets of highest instability staying south of today's storm risk area. So kind of struggling to maintain the instability for today, but tomorrow we've got a better pocket of that lift and, again, instability, to sound like a broken record, moving up out of the Gulf Coast into Louisiana, Mississippi, and then we could potentially see more hail moving through into tomorrow's risk for the southeast. So for today, for the end of your work week, scattered showers are going to continue through Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, until a little bit after sundown, and then potential to see those storms forming through far eastern Oklahoma with that hail threat. There they go, off towards central Arkansas with the potential to be producing some severe stones here and there. Should be pretty scattered. Again, not a ton of severe looking storms here on our future radar. But once they track down to the southeast through tomorrow, we should see things start to pick up here, and we'll take a look at that in a second. But for today's risk, again, those storms are very few and far between that have the potential to go severe tonight. So low end across the board for everyone from Fort Smith to Little Rock to Texarkana there. And I'll give you $50. Yesterday I was saying quarters. Well, pick it up a little bit to $50 today, but it's going to look like everything is just not lining up to produce a super large hail threat today. However, tomorrow could be a little bit different. And tomorrow also poses that tornado risk, right? So we see shear, and again, that's just the rotation in the air, right? Directional, so how it changes with direction with height, and also how much it changes its speed in height. So atmosphere is doing a bunch of wonky things as you get higher up. Shear just produces potential spinning storms and tornadoes. And we got a pocket of that here through Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky into tomorrow. Now, if you remember, that cape, that instability, right, is all kind of sticking towards the Gulf Coast. So the areas where it overlaps are going to be the areas with the highest potential to see all severe threats into tomorrow, particularly parts of Mississippi and Tennessee. And then, if you're up north of that high instability, it's going to be more of a scattered tornado threat. Down south, where everything is coming up out of the Gulf and producing that storm threat, now we could see all risks. So watching that kind of set up into tomorrow, but bottom line, tornadoes are on the table with any of those isolated storms that do form. So by around 5 p.m., Saturday, not really the end of your workday unless you're on the weekends, but the 5 p.m. hour, things should start to be popping up now through, again, parts of the southeast, the Tennessee Valley, and into Kentucky. Got a nice line of storms expected here through central Kentucky and Tennessee. Could get some tornadoes along that line or some gusty winds. And then with anything that stays isolated down south, that's going to be your hail threat and continued tornado threat. So really watching these storms again here where you have the best chance of all those unstable factors overlapping into tomorrow. And everything's going to track off to the east. So now northern Mississippi, northern Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, seeing all those severe threats heading off to the east before we get into Sunday when Georgia, the Carolinas, Virginia could see multiple waves of severe weather. So for your hail forecast into tomorrow, looking a little better. Now we could see maybe up to some ping pong to golf ball sized stones with those isolated storms that are heading through Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi. The best chance for that is going to be really in between Shreveport and up to Memphis. Could see, again, some larger stones through there, but really anywhere from down just east of Houston all the way up into Nashville along that line could get some severe hail for tomorrow. Low-end chances if you're in Texarkana or Little Rock. That line's either going to pass you tonight or early tomorrow morning, and that'll be it for your hail threat, and then all the way through to Jackson. Then for wind, it's going to be that whole area all the way up now to Kentucky. Could see some gusty winds, 60 miles an hour or so, from Jackson all the way up into Nashville once we get that line forming. So could get some things blown around with that wind, but for our tornado threat, that's really what we're going to be looking at into tomorrow. And again, it's going to be that corridor just to the east of Shreveport, all the way up into Memphis, into Nashville, where you have that shear, where you have that cape overlapping, that instability, I should say, and that whole frontal system tracking through. But if you're in Birmingham, Montgomery, Mobile, Jackson, anywhere west of that all the way up to Shreveport, you guys could see some spin-up storms as well. So if you're in any of this red swath, tomorrow's time to be turning on your alerts on your phone, checking into Hail Trace's page. We'll keep you updated, and just be weather aware as that system passes you. Then it's your turn out east for Sunday. If you're in Georgia, South Carolina, all the way up into Virginia, could see that whole mess of systems tracking off into that area. All risks are still possible, but it should be off the coast by late Sunday into Monday. Expect a lot of rain along with this as well, and again, multiple waves of storms. So your storm risk area for Sunday is going to be all the way from the Florida Gulf Coast into the Virginia coast there, with the remnants of that storm system before it finally makes its way out. And then it's going to be a much quieter week after Sunday. So extended temperature outlook, once that cold front does its thing, it's going to sweep the nation, makes a lot of us colder than average for this time of year, or if you're in gray, that just means you're average. Temperatures are going to be about what they are in general for December 11th through the 15th time period. So colder down south due to that cold front. If you're up in the northeast, far northern U.S., or the desert southwest, it's going to be a little bit warmer than normal. But in terms of rain, bone dry across the nation, right? Because that cold front is also a dry line, right? It's sweeping out all that instability, all that moisture and heat, and it's leaving us dry across a lot of the Ohio and Tennessee valleys, the southeast, across the Rocky Mountain west, and maybe some rain chances far down to the south. So next week looks pretty uneventful in terms of storms after this low pressure system tracks through. Bottom line, now I'm going to leave you with number 6 of our top 10 severe storms of 2023. So This system was May 10th through the 12th. So we've gone over that Oklahoma City crazy storm. We've gone over Des Moines and Chicago. You guys got impacted. Dallas has gotten a ton of stuff, and we'll get to you guys too. But this was a Colorado day, all right? So if you guys are out in the Denver, Colorado Springs area, I'm sure a lot of you guys, particularly east of the city, remember May 10th particularly, with a ton of hail, which we'll look at photos here in a second. But that was really the big thing, the big factor for hail, May 10th through the 12th, was in Colorado. Now for the 11th and 12th, then it was a tornado day for a lot of the Central Plains. So taking a look at just some stats on that, all caused by a low pressure system. Basically that low sucked the air up into the Rockies and forced all that large hail through the Denver metro area. And then as it moved east, it intensified, so it continued to do those tornadoes. So saw dozens of tornadoes across the central states, Colorado, Kansas, Nebraska, Oklahoma, all the way into Arkansas and Louisiana. Saw tornadoes and extreme hail, again, into Colorado. If you guys were just outside of Denver, I think it was like Castle Rock area, got 2.5-inch hail through there. So very significant for the Colorado Front Range. And overall, all of that did $3.4 billion in damage. So we were at 3.0 yesterday, added another 0.4 onto that for our top 10 events. Hail damage to homes and vehicles was all reported in Colorado, and then from those tornadoes and high winds, got a lot of structural damage, a lot of agricultural damage through the Central Plains. A lot of those heavy storms hit some more rural areas, which did a lot of damage to like outbuildings, farmhouses, etc. So we saw a lot of that, and then infrastructure as well from those tornadoes and high winds. So all in all, a very damaging system over the course of those 3 days. But if you're in Colorado, that's really what kind of took the cake, was that hail. There's some damaged photos. I mean, it was hailing sideways to do that to that car, right? These windows are just smashed out, done. Same with this rear windshield in this car, punched all the way through, which is just insane. Punched through. It looks like this might be some sort of like shed roof here, but just done, shattered. Windows shattered, and then there's a look at some of that large hail compared to like a Bic lighter. Lots of it, lots of high quantity hail. You can see it on the ground here, and with the wind that blew that into buildings and windows and cars, all those factors coupled together to produce a very damaging storm in Colorado, and then over the course of those 3 days, a very damaging storm system. So there you go, number 6 for you guys, Colorado ringing it in. And we'll let you guys know what number 5 is next Monday. So if you guys want to follow us, you can get us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Hit See First on Facebook so you never miss a live video, and smash that subscribe button everywhere else. And then if you're interested in purchasing a plan, scan that QR code up above me or click the link in the description to this video and we'll get you signed up. Or if you have questions about hail trace, give us a call at 855-334-4245. You can email us at info@hailtrace.com or check out hailtrace.com for more details. And we'll be back Monday with more weather info. Stay safe out there, guys, and have a great weekend. For now, I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers. Thanks for watching.